All right, guys, I guess we are ready to start now. Just give me a moment to check everything before we start our today's session. As always, I will need to check the how stable is the connection and bitrate of the stream. I just need to make sure that sound is working, chat is working, and the screen recording is working. Just give me yes in a live chat, readers, if you see me, if you hear me, if everything is working properly. Let me just send you the message in a live chat too, just to make sure that it works. Yes, and by the way, I must check if the notification was sent on Telegram, on Twitter, and in my Facebook group, because sometimes, because of some lags, the stream announcements do not post, and I'm not sure why exactly it happens. Yeah, so I guess we are ready to start now. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining another live stream. Today's live stream is very special. Today we are going to prepare to tomorrow's Fed rate decision. As you know, that is going to be a very critical week, a week of Fed rate decision, of FOMC press conference. And in comparison to previous Fed rate decisions, many analysts claim that this one is going to be the most significant of this year, because as you know, for the entire year, Fed did not lower the interest rates, and in comparison to other major economists, the Fed rate remains stable, remains intact. And many people claim that if Fed doesn't change rate this time, it will signify very deep conflict, very deep problems in the US politics and economy, and it will lead to major consequences. So we will watch how it's going to happen. As always, I am not making any predictions regarding the Fed rate decision. What we are doing instead, we adapt, and we are learning to trade no matter what. No matter what are the news, no matter whether the news are positive, negative, whether Fed raises the rate, lowers the rate, or keeps it intact, we are trying to trade whatever the market does. And on this live stream, I will share with you some trading plans. I will share with you some thoughts, some insights regarding trading ahead of FOMC, trading after that. I will share a lot of trading setups that I am trading already, that I will trade, and that I am planning to trade. And if you're here the first time, what I'm teaching you here, I'm teaching you the way I trade. I teach you my trading strategy. I teach you my way of trading. I'm showing how I use my trading strategy in trading Forex, gold, indexes. Sometimes we cover crypto as well, Bitcoin and major altcoins. And I show you a step-by-step process of using my trading strategy in practice. I'm showing you the way I trade. And another very important element of our live streams is, of course, our live chat, where you can ask your questions, where you can join the discussion, where you can share your views. And during the live streams, we are always trying to have a dialogue. So while I am sharing my analysis for different setups, while I am analyzing different setups with you, feel free to ask questions, feel free to ask if something is not clear in my analysis, because during the live streams I may use sometimes quite specific and complicated techniques. Yes, if something is not clear, ask and I will clarify. Another thing is that you can ask me, you can request to analyze any instrument you want. So if you want to know my opinion regarding some specific trading instrument that you are trading, please ask and I will analyze that for you. We have a very simple and straightforward rule during this live streams. I won't finish a live stream before I answer all your questions. So preparing for the today's session and watching the charts this early morning, I was happy to see some nice potential setups forming. I also took a long trade on gold this morning, and I am going to share that with you on today's live stream. And you know what was so sad about the last live stream that we got is that when we started the previous live stream that we got, I guess, two weeks ago, the market opening at that time was very crazy and the market was very volatile, and it was very hard for me to navigate among the instruments in my watch list while the markets were that volatile. So usually while I was explaining something, the market was already moving to the target, and I'm happy to see that today the markets are not that volatile as they were during the previous live stream. So I hope that you will enjoy today's session. Let's open the charts. Yes, and quickly let me introduce you to my charts. Yes, the most important thing to note about the chart is that in the middle of the screen you will find a watermark with a trading instrument and the time frame that I analyze. The strategy that I use for trading and market analysis is called top-down analysis trading strategy, the strategy that is based on the analysis of multiple time frames. So the time frame selection and the time frame that I will use for analysis will be very crucial. So please kindly monitor not only the instrument that I analyze, but also the time frame that I analyze, because time frame selection is very important for any style of trading, whether you are day trading, scalping, or swing trading. Time frame selection is crucial for accurate entries, for accurate confirmations. So make sure you follow that. Please now say hello in the live chat if you're here and listening, if you're ready. And hello Malu, hello Sam, hello Sibia, hello Noah. Nice to see Toon Slack. Nice to see Vanisa here, Tato here, Nair. Nice to see Bill, nice to see Marco. Thank you for joining today's live stream. Yes, so say hello, yes, say hello, show me your presence, show me that you are ready, and yeah, let's have a great live stream today. Hello David, hello Vivek, hello Justin, hello Renee, Marriage here, Brian, thank you for being here. Yeah, so thinking about what to start our today's live stream with, I think it would be a good idea to warm up analyzing US30 index, because as you know, many analysts are claiming that Fed is going to lower interest rates, and lowering the rates will signify, I guess you would agree with me, bullish rallies on Bitcoin, major US indexes, and for us as traders, it can provide a very nice trend following opportunities. So one of the trend following opportunities that we will discuss is on US30. I will explain how to spot a valid confirmation signal there to buy, and we will go through the trading plan. Hello Zoe, thank you for joining. Nice to see Alam, Vibe Hub, James. Yes, so let's open US30 index, and with top-down analysis trading strategy, with the strategy that I use, it is very important to analyze not a single time frame, but analyze a bunch of time frames. And with top-down analysis, we start with the higher time frame. We start our analysis with the daily time frame, and then we dive deeper, analyzing intraday time frames and looking for confirmation signal to open the trade. So opening US30 index, let's start with the daily time frame. And on a daily time frame, first and foremost, let's execute trend analysis. Let's try to understand what is happening with the market, where the market is moving, and what is the current sentiment. And I guess it is more than obvious for you traders that since April, the market is bullish. We are trading in uptrend, and over time, the market keeps updating higher highs and higher lows. The trend is strongly bullish, and then zooming in the chart, we can see that since the 22nd of August, the market was accumulating and the market was stuck on that major resistance. We got a significant resistance cluster that the market was respecting for quite an extended time period. You can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times the market respected that structure, and many times we saw a retracement from that structure. At the same time, however, what is so important for us to note is that though that was a strong resistance, the market kept updating higher lows. So you can see that bearish reactions to that resistance became weaker and weaker. The fact that the market updated higher lows right here suggested that we got a classic bullish accumulation. That was a very nice example of an ascending triangle pattern, the pattern that signifies bullish accumulation in uptrend, and that pattern can help you to predict a bullish continuation, a bullish trend continuation even before it happens. And the very strong signal that we see after completion of a bullish accumulation is, of course, a breakout of that resistance, a so-called BOS, the break of structure in SMC trading. The violation of that resistance and the formation of a new higher high, higher close suggests that bullish accumulation completed and the market continues uptrend. The market updates the high. In uptrend, the market sets a new higher high, higher close, and it is the signal that most likely the market will continue rising, the market will grow more, and bullish trend will continue. And one more thing that is so important in the analysis of US30 index on a daily time frame is the breakout candle. Examining a breakout candle right here. The thing is that it is a very classic example of a high momentum candle. It is a high momentum bullish candle that has a large body. And if we compare the body of that candle with previous candles, we can easily see how strong it is in comparison to previous bullish candles. This candle clearly indicates the strength of that breakout, and it clearly shows how strong is a bullish sentiment. So we see, analyzing a price action, analyzing market trend, that US30 is strongly bullish. The fact that we just updated the high suggests that the trend is going to continue, and as traders, we can look for trend following buying. We can look for a signal to buy the market. We can look for a signal to buy, expecting a bullish continuation. And the question is, from where should we buy? The question is, where will be our safe area or level to buy the market from? And it is very simple to get from where we can buy. Of course, a broken horizontal resistance turns into a potentially strong demand zone, into a potentially strong support. That will be our first point of interest. That will be the first area from where we can buy. And by the way, yesterday, if you remember my free Telegram channel, you should know that yesterday in the morning I already shared a pullback trade from that support that was already closed in profit. So it is our first strong support, and from that first strong support we can already look for a signal. A bit lower we have our trend line. It is another strong support, and what I also suggest doing here is uniting a trend line and a recently broken structure into one single area, into a demand zone, the zone from where we can expect growth. So the market may easily fluctuate around that area. The market may easily even reach its lower boundary before it will start growing. So it is very important to mark that entire area and to understand that that entire area can be our potential reversal zone, the zone from where the market may start growing. One more thing that I need to mention right here is that you definitely should understand that there is no guarantee that that zone exactly is going to be respected. Unfortunately, in trading, nothing is guaranteed, and the market may easily, smart money may easily manipulate the market, and a bullish movement, a bullish rally may start from lower structures. For that reason, it is very important to mark significant demand zones, to mark significant structures, and understand that the market may easily drop lower to one of the structures before a bullish rally will start. For that reason, by the way, because of the fact that we never know from which zone exactly, from which level exactly the market will start moving, it is very important not to buy from the structures blindly, but instead look for a signal, instead look for a confirmation before you open the trade. So after a test of each of the zones, a very important element of our trading strategy will be to analyze the reaction of the price to the structures and look for a confirmation signal before we enter the trade. And now I'm going to show you how exactly we are looking for confirmation. You can see that what happened with the market yesterday, we tested that zone. We tested our demand area, our critical zone. And now what we are going to do, we will discuss what kind of confirmation we will need to buy and confirm that buyers are buying from that support and that bullish rally is coming. The next time frame that we analyze after daily time frame analysis, after a test of a significant structure that we spotted, the next time frame is a 4-hour time frame. That is the second time frame in our analysis. And this time frame, what we do, we analyze the price action again. And our goal analyzing intraday time frames is to find what exactly will confirm the strengths of the buyers. So we'll need to analyze the price action, candlesticks, and try to understand what exactly can prove that this local correctional movement that we see now is over and the market returns to a global bullish trend. Analyzing how the price acts on a 4-hour time frame, we can see that after the market updated the high, we got a retracement to our recently broken structure, and now we see a consolidation. You can see that the market started to consolidate. Consolidating, the market started to respect this intraday horizontal resistance and this intraday horizontal support. That is a very classic example of a range, of a horizontal parallel channel. And these ranges are very significant for price action trading, for trading SMC, because these ranges signify a local equilibrium, local balance. These ranges signify that locally supply equals demand, demand equals supply. For that reason, the market does not update the highs, the market does not update the lows. Instead, the market trades in sideways and consolidates. And what is so important to understand that while the market consolidates within this ranges, smart money are always accumulating their orders. And we assume that because the market is strongly bullish, that smart money are silently accumulating buying volumes within this range, silently absorbing the liquidity, silently accumulating their buying positions before another wave will start. And we don't know how much time they will need to accumulate their orders there, and whether they are exactly buying from here or they are preparing for a manipulation lower. We don't know. But what we know for sure is that this orange resistance so far is a strong intraday resistance. It is the resistance where, at least for now, sellers are placing their selling orders. That is the area where the market supply accumulates. And the signal that we can rely on to buy the market will be a breakout of that orange resistance. And there are several reasons why a breakout of that orange resistance will provide a significant confirmation. From a trend analysis perspective, on a 4-hour time frame, if we execute just a simple structure mapping, we will notice that on the 4-hour time frame, correcting the market established a minor bearish trend. We have a bearish impulse, retracement with the formation of a lower high, another bearish impulse with the formation of a new lower low, and the criteria, the conditions for a bearish trend are met right here. So the fact that we have a bearish trend suggests that the last lower high within this bearish trend will be a very critical point. And according to classic price action rules, while the market is below that level, below the level of the last lower high and the bearish trend, the market trend remains bearish, and the bullish violation of that will suggest a violation of that bearish trend. At the same time, the level of the last lower high in this bearish trend matches perfectly with that supply area that we spotted. So when the market breaks that orange area, when the market breaks that, not only the market will violate that intraday supply area, but also the market will violate this minor bearish trend. Yes, so it will provide extra confirmation, violation of a strong intraday supply zone, and also violation of a minor bearish trend. So after this breakout, after a breakout of that orange, the breakout of that orange resistance will suggest a buying imbalance. Again, it will suggest the clear strengths of the buyers. So for me, it will be more than enough to confirm a highly probable bullish continuation. To me, it will confirm a highly probable bullish continuation to higher structure levels and the highly probable growth. So after that, we can look for buying after a pullback from that orange zone, and we can set our stop loss below the lows of this correctional movement. It will be a very safe stop loss for our trade, and we can aim at higher structures. And what is so specific about buying US30 now is that the market is trading in no man's land, and we don't have any historic structures to rely on for our take profit. So when there are the situations like that, the best strategy to follow is to use trailing stop and to rely on psychological levels as the targets for your trades. Unfortunately, in that particular case, there are no significant psychological levels above the current high. No significant psychological levels that are relatively close to current prices. So I suggest that the best strategy to follow will be to use trailing stop to let the market run and just follow the market, moving your stop loss and trying to catch a rally and try to get maximum from that. So we never know how far it is going to go, and we never know how far is going to be the next all-time high, but that is so far will be our plan to buy. Yes, wait for a breakout of that orange resistance, then buy after a pullback. I suggest also moving your stop loss to entry when the market will retest the current high. It will be a nice point for protection of your trading position. So when the market reaches that resistance, you can move your stop loss to entry and make your position risk-free. That is a very common strategy that we use with my academy members to protect our trades, and it helps us to avoid, some surprising news, some surprisingly negative news that will completely change the entire setup. So as the market tests the high, move stop loss to entry and then expect growth to higher structures. I guess realistically the market can reach 46,300 level. So if you need some fixed take profit, I guess you can aim at that. That level looks very realistic. Yeah. Then let me know, traders, if you have any questions regarding that setup. So I thought that it would be a good idea to start our today's analysis with the US30. It is a trend following setup. It is kind of the swing setup. And I thought that many of you are looking for buying US30, US100, US500, watching how strong bullish rally we have on this indexes. So that's what I wanted to start with today. Russell says, will the support and resistance recognize the rate cut and the volatility that brings? Russell, it always depends. Sometimes after release of high impact news, the markets tend to forget the existence of all the levels, all the structures that are in the price chart. And sometimes it is the opposite. That is the tricky thing about trading. Sometimes with the high volatility, key levels work perfectly, and sometimes they don't work at all. That's how tricky it is, and it's hard to predict how the markets are going to react to volatility that we are going to see with the Fed rate decision on Wednesday. That is so, it's very tricky, and that is why you should always remember that in trading nothing is guaranteed, and you should be prepared for everything. James says, since I found the channel, I'm able to identify the direction and completely understand supply and demand. Thanks. Thank you, James. Thank you. I truly appreciate that. Fanisa says, what about to use FIBO to mark the levels for extension? Yes, Fanisa, that is a very good question. Another strategy, traders, that you can rely on to identify a potentially significant resistance above the current highs is to use Fibonacci extension. Let's just open a naked price chart so I could show you how to do that. So when you are using Fibonacci extension to predict where can be the next potentially strong resistance, you will need at least 3 strong bullish impulses. So we have a strong bullish impulse right here. We have this impulse from right here to current high. And I think we can, for example, take this impulse. So you take some 3 different impulses. That is the most important thing, that you need at least 3. And then based on these 3 impulses, you draw a Fibonacci extension. From the low to high of the impulse, you draw the extension levels. And common extension levels that we can rely on are 1272, 1414, and 1618. These are three important extension levels. So what we are going to do, we are going to draw those extension levels based on three impulses that we spotted. Sorry, that is how we do that. Here's our third impulse. Yes, and that is how we draw it. Yeah. And then what you should do, you should look for the so-called confluence. Confluence is a level or a narrow zone where extension levels of different impulses match. And in that case, the only confluence that we can spot so far is right here. Confluence around 46,900. Yes, and that is the first confluence that I see. Probably we will need to take some other impulse. We can take this impulse, for example. Yes, that is another strong impulse. And let's try to draw Fib extension based on that and see if we have, yeah. And now we have another confluence. Take a look, traders. We have a very nice confluence right here in this confluence zone. Yes, so with Fibonacci analysis, with the Fibonacci extension analysis, here are two potentially significant resistances above our current highs. The first one is 46,476, and yeah, so that's just, let me underline that so you could better see this area. Yes, and the second one is right here. So that is one of the methods that can help you to identify potentially significant resistance above historic highs. As I said, another method is to rely on psychological levels. That is a very useful method that I use in predicting the next strong resistances on gold, by the way. Psychological levels on gold work extremely efficiently. So that is these are two very useful methods for. By the way, the third method is also to try to find some historic trend line, try to find the trend line that the price respects. For example, in that case, I guess there's some trend line. At least I remember that I spotted one. Yeah, I guess this one. Yeah. So this, look at that trend line, traders. What is so specific about that trend line is that the price reacted to that trend line 3 times already. And we can assume that that trend line can be the next goal for the buyers because 3 times the price respected that already. And with a high probability, it will be respected one more time in future. So if you are buying US30 index, that is a trend line that you can rely on as the potential goal for your long trade. Yes. Olha says, will you record the stream? Yes, I always do. The recordings are always provided, and on my YouTube channel, I keep the recordings of all the live streams that I got. I never removed them. The only live stream that I removed was the one where I started, got 10 minutes of the live stream, then thunderstorm started, and the next 30 minutes it was black chart. That one I removed because, yeah, because there was no point at all to keep it. But that was the only one that I removed. All the rest are here, and many traders use the recordings of my live streams as the lessons for understanding different trading setups. Like, for example, the setup that we discussed on US30, this trend following setup, you can use it today, and you can use it in a year or in 2. This trend following strategy is extremely powerful, and and works for many, many years, and I'm sure that it will continue working. Now, thinking about what to analyze next, I think we can discuss some pullback trading probably. On New Zealand yen, there is a setup that I wanted to discuss. Yes, let's quickly discuss how we treat pullbacks on Forex and how to again combine multiple time frame analysis, SMC price action, trend analysis all in one to spot accurate pullback trading opportunities. So on New Zealand yen pair, what we have on a daily time frame, we have a clear uptrend. If we analyze how the price acts since the middle of August, we can see that the market is growing steadily. The market keeps updating the highs, higher lows, and we are in a clear, strong uptrend. And this uptrend, what is so important to note is that after each break of structure, after each violation of a higher high, the market tends to retest that, and after retest, the market starts growing again and updates the highs then. So we can see how strong are previous highs for a trend, for an uptrend on New Zealand yen. And we can spot that just recently the price violated another high. We got a strong supply area right here, and the market violated that. We got the confirmed break of structure, formation of a new higher high, higher close, and we see a retest of a broken structure now. And we can assume that the price may easily respect that. The price may easily respect that and bounce at least to a current high then. So it looks like we may have a nice pullback trading setup on New Zealand yen here. So how are we going to trade it? Before we buy, again, we are going to wait for a signal. We are going to wait for a confirmation signal on lower time frames. So we see a test of our structure, of our critical zone, from where we expect a bullish continuation. So we will examine a price action on the 4-hour time frame first, and we will look for some insights there. So let's check what is up on the 4-hour time frame. The 4-hour time frame, analyzing what is happening right here. Nothing special. We tested our resistance. Yes, we consolidated for a while on that, and then we dropped. So nothing special. And in a situation when you see nothing on the 4-hour, where there's no signal, no pattern, you can analyze lower time frames then. And the next time frame that you can analyze is an hourly time frame. That is the second strong intraday time frame for top-down multiple time frame analysis. Let's open that and let's see what is going on an hourly time frame. On an hourly time frame, we can see that the price was falling strongly. You can see that the market was falling rapidly, and once we approached a lower boundary of our demand zone that we spotted on the daily, the market stopped. The market stopped and the market started to consolidate. In this consolidation, we should easily identify a very powerful bullish pattern. You should recognize that here we have an inverted head and shoulders pattern. It is still not completed. The market is now completing that. We have formed left shoulder, head, and now the price is forming right shoulder. So here is a potential bullish pattern that I see. And what can be our signal to buy New Zealand yen? Neckline of a head and shoulders pattern is a significant zone of supply. It is a very important resistance where sellers are currently placing their selling orders. The fact that the price dropped from that resistance recently, and the fact that the price dropped from that, forming a high momentum bearish candle, suggests a strong selling interest within that area. And then when the price returned that just recently, we got another bearish reaction to that yellow zone, to this horizontal neckline of this inverted head and shoulders pattern. So what can be the signal to buy New Zealand yen? What can be a signal for opening a pullback trade from this orange support on New Zealand yen? Our powerful signal will be a bullish breakout of a neckline of the pattern. Once the price breaks and closes above that, once we see an hourly candle close above that, we can buy. We can buy and retest, expecting a bullish movement to the resistance that we spotted on a daily, our major daily resistance that we identified. So buying on a retest, we will aim at that structure, and stop loss for this trade will be based on the head of the pattern. Yes, trading head and shoulders pattern on the intraday time frames, I'm always trying to keep my stop loss below the head. It is the safest stop loss, and it helps to avoid liquidity grabs and manipulations, and it really protects against some sudden volatility spikes. So that is going to be our signal for New Zealand yen pair. It is a complete plan. Wait for a breakout of a neckline of the pattern. Hourly candle close above that will confirm a violation. Set buy limit order on a retest of a broken neckline. Your stop loss below the head, and your take profit is based on our daily structure. That is how simple our plan is, and I want to remind you that this plan is based on a strong uptrend that we see on a daily, on the fact that the price keeps respecting previously broken resistance that is based on a previous high as a strong zone from where another strong bullish impulse starts. So I guess current support can be another zone from where another bullish wave is going to start. Yes. Then, traders, what else to analyze for you? Gold traders, if you're here and listening, give me yes, and we'll discuss gold. We'll discuss current situation on gold. I see a question from Muskan about euro-dollar. Let's check it quickly. I guess you saw, mate, that euro-dollar is growing quite rapidly today, and euro-dollar is going to reach a very critical point on the daily time frame. The thing is that obviously the market trend is bullish. The thing is that not only a major long-term trend is bullish, but also a short-term trend is bullish. So, by the way, traders, those who are studying trend analysis, those who are studying market trend identification, you should always remember that even on one single time frame, we have long-term trend, mid-term trend, and short-term trend. It is very important to correctly understand the perspective. So while the market, for example, can be in a global uptrend, it can easily be in a short-term or mid-term bearish trend. So, for example, you can see that though here was our global uptrend, here we got short-term downtrend on euro-dollar. And what is happening now? Our long-term trend perfectly aligns with a short-term uptrend. So the sentiment is very strongly bullish on euro-dollar now. And what is happening in the strong uptrend, what is happening in the strong bullish sentiment is that the market is going to approach, or already approaching, this very significant resistance. It is a very strong resistance that the price is testing at the moment. That is a resistance that holds since June. Since June, we got multiple attempts breakout attempts of that, but it still holds. And I think that Fed rate decision, or even the news before the Fed rate decision, can become a catalyst for a breakout of that zone. Of course, because the trend is bullish, I think that chances will be always higher that the trend will continue and that the market will continue growing to the new highs. I think the signal, a very reliable signal that you can look for on euro dollar is, of course, a breakout of that major resistance. If we break and close above that on a daily time frame, it will open a potential for more growth, for more bullish continuation, for a strong bullish rally to higher structures. And if we analyze the historic price action, if we look left and examine what can be our next potentially strong resistance, then we can easily find quite a critical resistance right here. Yes, why? Let me zoom in the chart and show you. Over here in 2021, the market respected that historic structure 3 times. Yes, and that was a historic structure from where the significant bearish rally initiated. So that can be a very strong resistance. And what is also important about that resistance is that it matches with an important psychological level. Right here we have 1.19 psychological level. It is the round number base level. It is a very significant structure. And it looks like euro dollar is preparing for a breakout of that yellow resistance. And if we break and close above that, yes, that will be the next goal for the buyers. Then, of course, on my free Telegram channel, I will provide the update once we see a confirmed violation, and once I spot a confirmation signal, I will definitely provide the first signal on my Telegram channel. So make sure that you subscribe. The link to my free Telegram channel will be in the description to this live stream. Also remember that Fed rate decision is going to be a very critical event for this week. And watching that the market is now approaching such a critical zone, I suggest trading euro dollar only after Fed rate decision. Trading within that major supply zone will be extremely risky. We may see a lot of manipulations within that area. We may see a lot of chaotic movements. So because we have such a strong and wide structure, by the way, if we measure how many pips are right here, it's almost 55 pips. It is a very wide zone, traders. Let the price trade within that zone. Wait for a breakout, wait for a clear violation of that, wait for a daily candle close above that, and then let's look for buying, expecting more growth to 1.19 resistance. Yes, I hope that you agree with my analysis. Yeah. Gold. Yes, I guess we will check gold. Did we have any other questions before? The chat is moving quite quickly sometimes, so I may miss some questions in the live chat. I see a question about pound USD from Stilipi. Let's quickly check pound USD traders, because pound USD is in my personal list for today, preparing for today's live stream. I was planning to share some insights regarding pound USD, so let's check that quickly. Yes, and I will share with you a potential opportunity to sell there. The thing is that if we analyze pound USD on a daily time frame, we can spot one very significant event that happened on the pair last week. It turned out that the price managed to violate a very significant support. We get a very important demand cluster that was violated. The market broke and closed below that. And why this event is so important is that from the price action perspective, look, we have a bearish trend on the pound Aussie now, and the violation of that support gives us a confirmed break of structure, a formation of a new lower low, lower close in a bearish trend that suggests that the trend is still strong, that yes, our bias should remain strongly bearish, and that the pair has a potential to drop even lower. And what is happening with the market now? The market is retesting a recently broken structure. Yes, that is our recently broken structure from where we can look for selling. By the way, with my VIP signals group members, we already shorted pound Aussie from that resistance, and we got a very nice pullback trade right here. The problem is though, however, traders, that is not the only resistance from where the next trend following bearish movement may start. The problem is that there are a lot of significant resistances on the pound Aussie pair that the market may easily respect. So as we discussed on US30 index, we shouldn't sell the pair blindly from these structures. Before we sell, we will need to spot a strong confirmation signal first. Yes, and you can see that we are testing our first strong resistance. So let's see how the price reacts to that, and let's check what can be our confirmation to sell pound Aussie from here. Analyzing a 4-hour time frame, do we see anything special right here? Do we see any reliable signal to sell? No, we see nothing. What we see on a 4-hour time frame is that the market started a correctional movement. The market started a correction. We see the set of new higher highs, set of higher lows. So we have a minor intraday bullish trend on a pound Aussie on a 4-hour time frame. What do we have on an hourly time frame? Nothing, by the way. When I was preparing for a live stream this morning, traders, my focus was on this range. That is what I was monitoring. That was the range where the price was stuck when I was preparing for a live stream. You can see that while I was talking and after our live stream started, the price updated the high right here and violated this minor resistance, updating the high. So this range is kind of violated and invalidated now. But from such a perspective, we can still see that we have quite an important intraday support right here. It was a strong intraday resistance. The price respected that twice, and after a breakout, it turned into a strong support from where this bullish movement initiated. From such a perspective, the signal that you can rely on to sell pound Aussie from our major daily resistance is a breakout of that. If we violate that orange support, that can be quite a reliable bearish signal. And then we can expect some bearish movement, some retracement to that intraday horizontal support. So that is going to be the plan. I will keep you posted regarding this one. I will keep watching pound Aussie carefully, and if I see a confirmation, I will provide the update for this one. So I promise that I will keep monitoring this one, and in case of a formation of a strong signal, I will share the update. Now let's check gold. So this morning I made a decision to buy gold. It was a classic break of structure trade, and now I will show you how to trade break of structure. Let me just open a naked price chart. Yes, and before we start discussing break of structure trading on gold, one important thing to note is that traders, the market trend now is strongly bullish. We have a very strong bullish rally now. And I want you to remember that when you see the market that is trading in a so strong uptrend, do not sell. Do not go against the trend. Yes, even if at some moment the market will reverse, chances will be always higher than that the market will continue rising instead of that it will reverse. So the chances to spot an accurate reversal will be way lower than the chances to spot a trend following movement. So when you see such a strong trend, prioritize trend following. Trend following should be your main strategy. Trend following should be the main strategy that you should follow. Even though some traders will advertise, I don't know, brag how accurate is their reversal trading and how good gold is for pullback trading now after the test of new highs, I strongly recommend being on the side of the trend. It will be a way better strategy to follow. Yes. And with all that being said, let's check daily time frame. And on a daily time frame, traders, one of the most and one of the easiest strategy to rely on trading a strong uptrend is a break of structure strategy. The strategy that is based on breakouts of current highs and some pullbacks and reliable confirmation signal on intraday time frame to buy. I will show you one of the examples of such signals in my today's gold analysis. So what we see is that since 20th of August, bullish rally on gold is so crazy. Yeah, man, that was how many? It gained more than 11% for how many days? For 27 days, 11%. That's enormous. Yeah. And the market stopped. There were certain points where this bullish movement stopped, at least temporarily. The first one was right here. Yes, that was our first strong resistance. Yes, the market respected that resistance and we got some pullback from that. Yes. And then after this pullback, we got a break of structure, retest of a broken structure, and the bullish continuation. That is a very perfect setup that you should look for. Formation of a new high, retracement, bullish movement, break of structure, retest of a recently broken structure, bullish continuation. Yes, that is the ideal scenario for you as a trend follower. And then the next point where we stopped was right here. Yes, that was our next strong resistance. The market reached that. The market retraced from that. Then we went up, and yesterday what we got another break of structure. We broke and closed above that structure. We set a new higher high, higher close. We got a confirmed breakout. What we do after a confirmed break of structure, we wait for a retest. And this morning we got a retest. So that is where we start search of our entry signal on lower time frames, on intraday time frames. So after we see a break of structure and a retest of a broken structure, we start analyzing lower time frames. We start looking for a signal on the 4-hour time frame. What is our signal right here? No signal. We see break of structure and the consolidation. But as I said, if no signal on a 4-hour time frame, let's examine an hourly time frame. On an hourly time frame, we open a price chart, and on an hourly time frame, we have multiple signals. What is our first signal? The first signal is the formation of the triangle. We have a very classic symmetrical triangle right here. Yes, and what happened at night? The price violated that. How the price violated this triangle? We formed a high momentum bullish candle. And why this high momentum bullish candle is so peculiar? With that, the market not only violated the trend line, but the market also violated a current high. Yes, we got a break of structure right here. A minor break of structure on an hourly time frame. Another strong bullish confirmation. But we got one more signal right here. On an hourly time frame, the market also was consolidating within the range. That is the range that we already discussed on today's live stream. Discussing US30, I explained why these ranges are so important. And I explained that smart money are accumulating their buying orders within such ranges. And when they complete the accumulation, the range tends to break. So a breakout of a resistance of the range right here, this violation, was your signal, was your very reliable trigger indicating a highly probable growth. And what happened after a breakout of a resistance of the range, cheaters? We got a deep retest. We got a deep retest of a trend line. We got a deep test of a support of the range. And this morning, what I did, I simply bought the market. I bought the market immediately after I spotted this break of structure that happened at night. I sent a signal to my VIP signals group to buy gold from here. And we see a nice bullish continuation now. Yes, we see that was your very perfect zone to buy from, was the entire area from an upper boundary of a broken resistance of the range to current support. That was the entire area. Any point within that area was good to buy from. Yes, that was buying from any level within that zone would be a safe area to buy. So I managed, what was my NG for this trade? Let me just double check. I managed to buy from 36.82. So my entry level was right here. Yes, that is from where I bought. And watching how the market is growing now, how can we find the next strong resistance if there are no historic structures and if the market is currently feeding in the no man's land, constantly updating the all-time highs? As I said, one of the most reliable ways to identify the next potentially strong resistance is to rely on psychological levels. And we are very close now to our 3,700 psychological level. It is a very potentially significant resistance that the market is going to test. And that can be the zone from where the next pullback may start, from where another just a short-term correctional movement may initiate. So watch carefully this 3,700 level, potentially important level. Yes, we are approaching that now, so we may see some pullback from that. Do not forget, by the way, that today, checking the economic calendar, we have retail sales data released with the New York session opening today. It can be a catalyst for a correctional movement on gold. So remember that it can be the signal for a potential correction. But as I said, do not go against the trend and prioritize trend following. Let's look for a pullback, and then after a pullback, let's look for another signal to buy. Yes, and here are, by the way, some thoughts regarding the tomorrow's FOMC and Fed rate decision. So many analysts claim that if Fed is going to lower interest rates tomorrow, it will lead to some relief on gold, and that gold should drop then, because one of the major factors of a current bull rally on gold is the intact interest rates, and many people say that lowering the rates will trigger a strong bearish reversal on gold. Though I don't really buy that, though it sounds really controversial, I still keep that in mind. And with the release of the tomorrow's Fed rate decision, my focus will be on that daily support. We have quite an important daily support cluster right here. We have a very important demand zone that the price respected several times already. That was a very important structure that the market tested. And I think, traders, that after the Fed rate decision tomorrow, we should monitor, we should watch carefully how the price reacts to that support. It is a very critical support, and those who are studying smart money concepts should understand that that support is also a bullish order block zone. And you can see, traders, that a breakout of that zone will also signify a violation of a bullish order block zone. The breakout of that zone may trigger an extended correction. I do not agree that if Fed lowers the interest rates, gold immediately will start trading in a bearish trend. I don't believe so, but I do agree that an extended correctional movement will follow. And one of the significant triggers that can confirm a start of a correction on gold is a breakout of that bullish order block zone. After that, the market may easily drop way lower. Again, I will monitor the situation tomorrow, and of course after the Fed rate decision I will definitely share the update for gold, so I will keep monitoring that. I will keep you posted. But I don't know what are your thoughts regarding that, but it is very hard to believe that gold is going to reverse tomorrow, that gold is going to change its direction tomorrow. Watching all this recent news that with this assassinations, with the attack in Qatar, it doesn't feel like the sentiment is going to change. But I don't know what you think regarding that. Let me know what are your thoughts. I really agree with predictions for gold for this year that the market is going to reach £4,000. Looks like it is way possible, and before the end of the year, it looks like we may easily reach these numbers. And let's see with financial markets, everything can happen. And let's see what Fed is going to do. Let me know, traders, if you have any questions regarding that. Ziza says the next psychological level 3,700. Yes, I agree about that. Then what will be the next one? I see a question about New Zealand Swiss. Yes, so that is. Yes, Rohit asks to analyze New Zealand Swiss. Fanisi asks to analyze New Zealand Swiss. So let's check it. By the way, so interesting why people are interested in New Zealand Swiss. But let's check. So on New Zealand Swiss pair, we have a global bearish trend, and in this global bearish trend, once the market reached the low, we started a minor bullish trend. Yes, we started trading in a minor bullish trend. The market started to update the highs. And after the market updated the last high, we see a retracement, and now the price is testing this quite a significant support. And so that support can provide a nice zone for a potential pullback trade. Yes, so we see a test of that structure now, and we can look for some confirmation here. And yeah, and we have a very similar picture to the earlier. What was that? We analyzed New Zealand yen. On New Zealand yen, we discussed potential buying New Zealand yen in uptrend. That was the setup that we spotted. And on New Zealand Swiss pair, it is a very similar setup. The only problem with that setup though is that on this orange support, we are now consolidating. We have a consolidation here. Yes, that is our consolidation. And of course, bullish breakout of the resistance of that consolidation can be a strong bullish signal. But the problem is that if we decide to buy after this breakout, if we decide to buy after this bullish confirmation, we should aim at our closest strong resistance. And our closest strong resistance is right here. So our take profit will be based on that. And setting our stop loss below the lows of our consolidation, you can see that we are going to have a terrible reward to risk ratio. Yes, we are going to have very bad reward to risk ratio in comparison to a trade on New Zealand yen. On New Zealand yen, our potential risk reward ratio is around 1.25, while on New Zealand Swiss, it is going to be around 0.66. So that's a bad one. And honestly, I think that, yeah, it's New Zealand Swiss does not look that good for buying. So though that zone is definitely very strong, though we can see a bullish movement from that, from such a perspective, with my current structure analysis, looks like buying that is too risky, and the potential reward is way bad in comparison to a potential risk. Then I see a question regarding Bitcoin. And by the way, yesterday on the live stream with my students, we discussed buying Bitcoin. Yes, and I'm happy to see that our trade on Bitcoin reached the target. That was the setup that I shared on the yesterday's live stream. Yes, we were looking for buying after a breakout of a resistance of that range, and yesterday we got a breakout during the New York session, and the price perfectly reached the target. So back to the charts. Yes, and what is happening with Bitcoin now? Let me open a naked chart. What is happening with Bitcoin now? Bitcoin is testing a very critical resistance. Bitcoin is now approaching, look, that is a very important resistance cluster that the price is testing at the moment. It is a very important and critical supply zone on a daily time frame that the price tests. And approaching that, the market started to coil within range. Yes, that is a current range where the price is stuck. So I think it looks like that the market is going to continue accumulating within that range before yesterday's Fed rate decision. So I think that we can expect some sideways movement within that range till FOMC tomorrow. And the next strong signal that will confirm bullish wave and a rise to current all-time high is a breakout of that entire area. And trust me, with positive news, Bitcoin will easily break that with one single candle. Though from such a perspective, that zone looks quite wide. With strong bullish news, that zone will be broken easily. And then we can easily aim at our current all-time high. Then we will see Bitcoin around current all-time highs and potentially higher. So that is the bullish scenario for Bitcoin. With the bearish scenario, I suggest monitoring a reaction to that demand cluster. That is a very strong demand cluster that we have, and a bearish violation of that may push the prices a bit lower. But I guess you noticed that reading the analytics for Bitcoin and crypto in general, I guess the most of the analysts are on a very bullish side, and many analysts are expecting a bull run after Fed rate decision tomorrow. So let's see how it's going to go. But if you're planning to buy after the news, make sure that you buy after a valid and strong confirmation. Yes, and that is the exact plan that I would follow. That would provide a strong confirmation. Another thing, by the way, that I wanted to mention is that remember that when ahead of the news, everyone is expecting a certain outcome of this news. The markets tend to price in the outcome of the news before the release of the news itself. So it means like if everyone is expecting that the Fed is going to lower the rates tomorrow and Fed actually lowers the rates, the markets may not react at all just because that would be already reflected in prices. Yes, so I hope you got that idea. So if for example, Fed lowers the rates tomorrow and you see no reaction of the market at all, just know that the market's already priced in all the news. Yes, that can be another scenario, by the way. Yes, let me know here is what else to analyze for you, and let me know if you have any questions. I see Ziza says $4,000 for gold. Dollar is weak, so gold should pump. Yes, Ziza, but remember that Fed can easily change that trend, though definitely dollar is very weak. And by the way, earning in dollars, it really fills this year, especially when you buy euros or pounds. You know, 3 years ago, dollar and pound were almost equal, and yeah, that felt very good to me, earning in dollars. But now, you know, euro is very expensive, pound is expensive as hell. So yeah, I hope that Powell will strengthen US dollar at least a bit, because man, it is so weak. I guess I've never seen before such a strong bearish rally on dollar and on dollar against major currencies. Yeah. So let me check European for you, Salipio. I see a question about European. Let's check that. And on European, there is a deep consolidation now, probably ahead of the Fed rate decision, or probably ahead of some other news. Today, by the way, we have some important European news. Yeah, we have some German news that will be released in less than 30 minutes. And ahead of this news, we can see that European is very weak. European is very weak, and we are now stuck within this range. We have a strong resistance right here. We have a strong support right here. And we are trading within that range. So before the Fed, remember that the market may easily continue ranging, and the market may easily continue consolidation and sideways movement within that range. So one of the strategies that you can use for trading European now is to looking for selling from the resistance of the range, expecting a bearish movement to the support of the range, and buying from the support of the range, expecting a bullish movement to the resistance of the range. That is how you can trade consolidation. Another strategy that you can look for is breakout trading strategy, and you can look for a breakout of a resistance of the range as a signal of a bullish continuation and growth, and you can look for buying, then aiming at that resistance and looking for selling the market from the support of the range, you can expect a bearish movement to that support. So if we're breaking close below with support of that range, yes, a bearish movement may follow to that support. So two ways to trade. The first way is to concentrate on sideways market and trade the market within that range till the news, till Fed rate decision. Alternatively, wait for Fed rate decision and look for a breakout of one of the boundaries of that range. Yes, if we break the resistance of the range, bullish movement will be expected, and a bearish breakout of the support of the range will provide a strong bearish confirmation. Now, there is a question about corn futures from Puria. I am not sure, by the way, what is the ticker of corn futures, but let me check. Honestly, I am not trading corn, but yeah, on the weekly you asked, right? On the weekly, yeah, what I see on the weekly is that the price is now testing this major supply zone. Yeah, we have quite a strong supply zone that the price is testing now. So if you're looking for a strong bullish signal here, I think bullish breakout of that yellow resistance, yes, is the signal that you can rely on to buy. If I have something else to say about that on a daily, not really. Yeah, so looks like that is critical zone that corn is testing now. So to confirm more growth, you will need at least a breakout and a weekly candle close above that yellow resistance. Yeah, that's what I can see. Then from James, there is a question about Sahara USD. what is that? Sahara USD. Is that some coin, right? I never heard about this one. Never heard. What is that? What is that? Is it some Islamic, right? Or Gulf coin, or what is that? Why are you interested in that? Support here. Yeah, it's ranging now. Probably it's ranging, awaiting Fed rate decision. Fed rate decision tomorrow. Yeah, we have a test of support now. What we have on that support? Man, honestly, I have nothing to say about that now, because the price action, yeah, from the beginning of history of this coin, you see that it's weak and it trades in sideways. So if you're looking for investing in this coin, I think that that's kind of the best place for buying for now. But you know, man, nothing special regarding that. Question regarding gold on 15 minutes time frame. Let me check what is up on gold on 15 minutes time frame. Let me share with you the analysis. Yes. What was the ticker that we used? Sorry, I forgot. Yeah, it was this one, I think. Yeah. So let's examine that in 15 minutes time frame. Yeah, so what's up here? Uptrend, yes, uptrend. And what we got in this uptrend on 15 minutes time frame is break of structure. Yes, we have confirmed break of structure, high momentum bullish candle, new higher high, higher close. That's it. Yes, so another bullish confirmation. But do not forget that we are approaching our 3,700 psychological level resistance, so the momentum can be easily weakening here. But so far, this break of structure, yes, I think it's kind of indicates that we are going to have at least one more push to that yellow resistance. So for now, this break of structure in 15 minutes time frame, I guess, just provides another strong signal. Yeah, now checking what else I prepared for you for today. I wanted to discuss EURCAD, but I guess it already played out while I was talking today. Yeah. Yes. So preparing for today's live stream. Yeah, I will just cover that in brief. Preparing for today's live stream, I also wanted to discuss some day trading, and I wanted to discuss EURCAD. On EURCAD, we see a strong support cluster right here that the price tested, and when I was preparing for a live stream, I wanted to show you this perfect confirmation that EURCAD formed after a test of that yellow support cluster. We formed a very textbook example of a double bottom on an hourly time frame. We violated its neckline with a high momentum bullish candle. It was a very perfect entry for buying EURCAD on a retest of a broken neckline of the pattern with a stop loss below the lows. You could catch a very nice pullback trade, but unfortunately it went up while I was talking, so I start analyzing this one way too late. Russell says, Vasily, last rate cut gold when bullish, then massively bearish 1,000 pips. Will this happen again? You know, as I said, analyzing gold, that many analysts claim that is kind of the thing that is going to happen this time again. So many analysts are convinced now that lowering interest rates will inevitably lead to a strong bearish rally on gold. So after the news release, we may have some volatility. The market may act and move upside down, but then the market is going to change the direction and drop significantly. But I don't know, mate. I don't know. Honestly, I'm not an expert in fundamentals, and I'm more on technical side, so I'm trying not to care much about where the market is going. I'm trying to trade just no matter what. So if the market will turn bearish, I will use the strategy to spot bearish confirmations. If it continues rallying, I will stick to my trend following break of structure strategy. So I will try to adapt and to trade no matter what. But yes, as I said, many analysts say that gold is going to turn bearish after lowering the rates, but who knows? It's so hard with the crooked economy that we have now. You know, the base fundamental rules that we learn in books, they don't work at all. So the weakest currency now among the strongest major currencies is the US dollar, the currency that has the highest interest rates. So yeah, does it make sense? It doesn't make sense at all. Yes, from the perspective of classic economic theory and classic economic rules. So higher are the interest rates, stronger is the currency. That is kind of the base rule, and we see a complete opposite now. So does it make sense? Not at all, but it is how it is, and yeah. I hope you got the point. Euro New Zealand, question about Euro New Zealand. Let me analyze Euro New Zealand. This one is also flagged in my watch list. Yeah, so Euro Rocket, I guess you saw, right, that Euro New Zealand reached key level. Yes, that's the key level that the price tested. Yes, and we see a pullback from that key level, and it looks like the market is going to test our resistance right here. So yeah, we got a pullback from that. Yeah, looks like we are going to test that yellow resistance. Would you analyze corn futures? Puri, I analyzed. Yeah, I don't know how you watch, but I did that for you. I am very sure that no one else is interested in corn futures analysis on this live stream, but I did that for you and you did not even notice. Shame on you, mate. Shame on you. Yeah, so Euro New Zealand rocket, I guess it is going to test that resistance and then we will see. Yeah, that's what I can predict from a current perspective. Then I will definitely look for selling from that resistance. Once that resistance is reached, I will look for some pullback trade from that. So I will look for a continuation signal to sell from that resistance. So the plan is to let the price reach that yellow resistance and then look for a continuation to sell. Bonds I'm not covering on live streams. Yes, and bonds is definitely not my specialty, so that's not what I am. That is not my area of experience. Yeah, so I guess we will not cover that. XBRUSD. What is XBRUSD? Is that Brent crude oil is XBR? I didn't know. Why you trade Brent oil? WTI usually has better spreads, lower spreads than Brent. Yeah, so, and they are very closely correlated. So basically all the moves that we see on WTI are the same like the moves that we see on Brent. So if the costs of cheating WTI are lower, why to trade Brent? Probably I'm wrong here. Probably with different brokers, the numbers are different. But from what I've seen, the spreads on Brent were always higher. Yeah, so what can I say about Brent? Now, I guess nothing that special. We started to consolidate within that range. I guess before the news, what we can expect is some continuation of a consolidation within that range. And then after Fed rate decision, you can rely on breakout of either the resistance of that range or the support of that range. So that's the plan basically. I think it will be reasonable to expect some bearish movement from the resistance of the range as we tested that recently. So the consolidation will continue within the range and we will drop to lower supports. I guess realistically we can reach 66.42. Yes, and then probably consolidation is going to continue till the Fed rate decision. And Francis, we analyzed Bitcoin already. I shared my analysis, I guess, around 20 minutes ago. So if you missed that, please check the recording. Yeah, pound yen just broke and closed above our current resistance. Trading an uptrend, we got quite an extended bullish accumulation. We were coiling on that resistance cluster. We set multiple equal highs on that, and then at some moment we started to set higher lows. First we were in a range, and then within that range the price started to update higher lows. And what happened with the market yesterday? We set a new higher close. We have a confirmed break of structure, and in a current strong bullish trend, the break of structure and a formation of a new higher close is a very important event. So I think that the pair is going to continue rising, uptrend is going to continue, and our next strong psychological level is 201. Yes, and I think with the high probability it is going to be reached soon. We have our support, by the way. I would say that our current support is like that. Yes, that is our exact support, the first strong support. So from that support, I think we can continue growing. Let me check if we have any trend line right here. I guess not. Yeah, so yeah, outlook is definitely very bullish right here, and I think that it is going to continue rising. Daily side says, what's your take on on silver? On silver, yeah, it's unstoppable, right? Unstoppable like gold. Silver is even more unstoppable than gold, I would say, this year. Yes, and the rally on silver, man, since May of this year, it gained, man, 49%. That's so much. It's better than Bitcoin, better than many altcoins. Yeah, silver looks like one of the best investments of this year, actually. So we are going to reach 43. Yes, the closest psychological level is 43. So most likely it is going to be tested soon. What else we have? I guess we may have some trend line there. Let me just double check a historic price action. I think that there was some. This one we already violated. How about this one? Yeah, we have this trend line. So the first goal looks like will be 43. And if we continue rising, then probably this trend line. So definitely bullish. Logic, by the way, is the same like on gold. As I said, do not sell, prioritize buying, trend following. We got some bullish accumulation here. Accumulation is over. Resistance of the range was broken. We retested that, and yeah, so my outlook here is strongly bullish. With analysis for gold euro, never I never analyzed gold euro, but I'm strongly convinced that it is the same like gold dollar. So I don't even know why to analyze gold euro if you have gold in base currency. So not sure, but yeah. So the outlook is absolutely the same like the outlook for gold dollar. Yeah. So I guess that's the great moment to finish, traders. And yeah, today we got, by the way, quite a long live stream today, and I did not even expect that I will be talking that long today. And yeah, how I'm streaming for more than 1 hour 30 minutes already. 1 hour and almost 40 minutes of the streaming today. And yes, I hope that you enjoyed today's live stream. Prepare yourself for a Fed rate decision tomorrow. As I said, it is going to be a very critical event, very important event for financial markets, and who knows what is going to happen. I hope that my today's session will help you to prepare for the news. Yes, not yesterday, tomorrow. Remember that we never know what is going to happen, and the best strategy that you can rely on is to adapt to changing market conditions. No matter what is happening, adapt to the market. If the market turns bearish, learn how to spot bearish confirmations. If the market continues rallying, then yes, apply trend following and try looking for bullish signals. Of course, I will keep providing free signals on my free Telegram channel, and I will provide the updates, so make sure that you subscribe. Also, do not forget that I have a lot of premium stuff on my website. You can read about my VIP signals group. I have a trading academy where I do such live streams on daily basis. I have 2 books already. One book teaching you SMC, one book teaching you my top-down analysis trading strategy. You can find all the info on my website. One more thing is that on my website, there are a lot of free educational articles on different topics. If you want to learn gold trading, I have a lot of gold trading strategies there, a lot of gold cheating basics articles, so check that. It is the free education page on my website. Also, do not forget to check my playlists. On YouTube, I have a lot of different playlists, again, teaching different things, SMC, technical indicators, risk management. You can find all that on my YouTube channel. Do not forget to subscribe to my social networks. I have Instagram, Facebook, TradingView. By the way, TradingView reached 90,000 subscribers. Crazy number. And I hope that soon it is going to reach 100,000. So thanks for following me there. I know that I have a lot of viewers who found me on TradingView. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your presence. I appreciate your questions. See you soon. The recording of the live stream will be provided in a couple of minutes. I will also add the time codes for more convenient watching or rewatching. Thank you and